Oh, hello there. My name is Trọng and I am a student at Bình High School. And this is my submissions for your contest, Reading Ambassador 2021. And my submission will be divided into two identical parts. First part will be my continuations of my favorite stories or my favorite book. And part two will be the part where I will point out some measures in order to encourage more and more people to read more books in these modern days. Part 1. Follow up on a story or a book you have heard. Well, my favorite book that I'm about to show you guys is Dream Island, which is written by Đăng, a very successful and established writer in Vietnam. And this book is all about a children's story revolving around three characters, Tin, Bảy, and Thắm. I mean, like the other 10 years old, they all have childhood fantasies and dreams. And this story begins with a pile of sand from Tin's father in the preparations for the construction of the warehouse. Seeing that sand, Tin is extremely excited and considered it as his own island, and he believed to become the lord of the island. Well, let me tell you a story. It has been a while since the event that the island is still kept under the belief of Tin's dad. It is so true that the island become a very important part to the life of Tin and his friends. It is like a torch that actually brightening the children's childhood. Since Tin and his friend catch the drug traffickers, the deserted island turns out to be very crowded. At this point, it seems that everyone knows about Tin's islands, and Tin's the kings of the island by the vice lord and Thắm the queens of the island after all the events that happened. The island itself speaks volumes that it is a meaningful story to Tin and his friends. Tin and Bảy would have never beat Phang, who always bullied them since they're not able to own the island. And they would have never had enough bravery to convince everyone and that the sand in the backyard is actually a true deserted island. And we all still remember Tin's familiar sayings. So we have been married for 3 years. That time was really fun when Tin said that to Thắm, because that time they actually split Slavia to each other's cheeks in order to prove that they actually got married. And Tin said, "We are truthfully married for 3 years." And that was a really fun time, and Thắm also really happy when Tin said that sayings. And nowadays, the island has been expanded and more sand is added into the island, and more water also got poured. More trees are also planted too, and the island's vice lord Bảy now become a stronger person that in the past, and Mit, who has got lured into a traffic, has become a policeman with a promise to catch all the drugs addicts and traffickers. It seems that Tin still chooses to live with his parents for the rest of his life, as he doesn't want to leave these islands because it's so important to him and his friends too. Therefore, it is certain that Tin will stay with the islands to the end of his life with his friends, Bảy and Thắm. Well, it is true that many people usually dreams to become a policeman, teacher, and etc. And I hope that all the children can continue to write different dreams for themselves, like Tin, Bảy, or anyone else in the story. As can be seen, that reading books can help readers not only to relax, but also to help them to reflect themselves through the story. And then they can write another beautiful or imaginative ending for themselves. That is the beauty and the creativity that reading brings us. And that is also the message that I want to send to everyone. Part 2. If you are selected as the reading ambassador, then what are your plans and measures to encourage you and everyone to read more? It can be said that books are the companions of man through each eras, all knowledge and historical events from the past to the present. It is very undeniable that books are extremely fundamental documents in the life of every human being. Many of these books contains a lot of functional knowledge for every readers in many different fields, such as mathematics, literature, chemistry, and so on. Books are like close friends who always tells us meaningful stories. These close friends are strongly believed and proved in many countries such as America, Japan, and many other countries in the world. On the other hand, reading is not actually that favored in Vietnam, as most of these Vietnamese people, especially teenagers, always fasten their eyes on their mobile phone, laptop, or other smart devices, which leads to so many health problems and consequences. And it also died down the reading cultures of Vietnamese people. And therefore, in order not to waste the knowledge from those wonderful sources, we need a plan to attract and stimulate more people to have a look at those pages. And if I'm chosen to become the reading ambassador, then I will implement some measures in order to encourage more and more people not to forget these wonderful traditions. Okay, first and foremost, I will accomplish a small survey so as to find the kinds of books that most of the students love the most. That way I can be able to collaborate with librarians in order that I can filter the book in many different fields. I can filter some textbook into the textbook shelf or love story into romantic shelf. Therefore, it will create chances for the readers to find book easier. The second action that I will perform to motivate people to read more is that I want to organize a festival so that people can be able to find out more about the types of books that they actually like, or maybe the new types of books. That way, people will have such astounding opportunity to assimilate knowledge about the new books. Well, moreover, we can build more and more libraries in many modern places such as schools, cafe, stations, or even airports. Is believed to be one of my most vital and fundamental acts in order to promote people to read more books. Due to the fact that people can spend more times reading it when they are at schools or cafe, etc. And that being said, people can spend more time reading more books, and that way it can help restore the Vietnamese reading cultures. And as you can see right here, this is believed to be my most favorite libraries that I used to read here, and I hope you can see it. Last but not least, I will spread the word to everyone to donate books to people living in remote areas so that they can have books to read and to discover more about the knowledge of society and nature. Thus, the reading culture will be well spread in many places in Vietnam. To sum up, if my measures were put into action conveniently, I would definitely believe that people will be strongly encouraged to read more books. Even though I may not have a chance to become an ambassador, but I still have strong belief that my measure will enhance the reading habits of every person. Yep, and that's all about my submissions. And how do you feel about it? Do you like it? Well, I hope that you can get some useful information from my videos and become more and more interested in reading books. And if you like this video, please vote for me, and thank you for your listening.